I'm going to stand in solidarity with my white brother there. Y'all good?
Down into 201s.
Yeah,
Yeah. It picked up 2 seconds.
got a lot more. There's a lot of traffic.
There is a lot of traffic. We see the Corvette held you up a little bit over here. That was nice of it.
The problem is he's so fast on the straight and I'm slow on the corner. But I guess that's a prep thing.
Yeah. How's the car feel with the lower tire pressure?
Feels better on the low speed, but not as good on the high speed.
Okay, so we'll leave them where they are.
Yeah.
Just leave them where they are.
Although the only thing I'm curious, is there a pressure difference between left and right? Yeah.
All right, whenever you want to go out. You put your left
Target acquired.
Eagle 1, first strike. You have permission to engage the target.
Warning, the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. What a day, man. What a day already. Give me 1 second, guys. I just had a message come through. I've got to answer it on my phone. Yeah, hang on, guys. I'm sorry, man. Sorry, guys. This is terrible dead air. What's up, Caucasian Sasquatch? All right, sorry about that, guys. Just business getting in. Just getting a little business done. Welcome, everybody. Let's see who's in the chat. John Smith in the chat. Good to see you, sir. 13 was second up. And he's been here. Lawrence R., good to see you. Chili Dog, Kevin L. No, man, my wife wants me to dress nicer on the show. Caucasian Sasquatch already said hi. What's up? How is it going, ladies and gentlemen? Hopefully the show, hopefully we get more people in here because it should be a pretty good show today. I was just over on Chaotic Truth, and man, they got it. It's lit up over there. Lots of cool stuff going on. A lot of racist kind of connotations and whatnot. But that's okay. We don't really care about that. Changed my lighting around. We're going to see how I like it. So far, so good, but we'll see how it rolls. And see what we get to here. And yeah, what's up, TVT? Good to see you. I see you wandering in there. That's cool. And yeah, so it's been a hell of a weekend. I took yesterday basically completely off. I didn't. I kind of hopped on Sarah's panel for like. Well, I didn't hop on the panel. I was in her chat for like maybe half an hour or something last night. No big deal. Got a lot going on this week. We're gonna get into that momentarily, and always trying to do cool stuff, whether I manage to or not. So what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk mostly politics today. I was kind of hoping Mikey Balls would be in here today to talk some of the politics. And one of the interesting things, and actually I have a debate tonight, so I'm going to use this partially as debate prep. It would be great if Tiki Tack was here, but he's probably working hard. So we'll get there with that. So Trump has been busy, like really busy. Supposed to get the light on the good side. When you find it, you let me know because I hadn't been able to find the good side yet, brother. Yeah. When you find my good side, let me know. I changed it actually around, and I can change it back and forth. I just, just trying different stuff. I may move things around a little more, maybe tomorrow, since I don't do a show tomorrow. Yeah, anyway, so in the news, I mean, look, we fired rockets at the Houthis. The Houthis have now fired rockets at least one of our ships and damaged it. You would think that they understood the rules by now that, you don't touch the boats. They seem to be unclear on the don't touch the boats part of it. Trump's being called on the carpet for deporting that doctor who, said some, he was saying some weird, he was like a super pro Palestine guy and, saying some stuff that, frankly, I think, I don't necessarily agree with the reasoning why. I do agree, however, that guy's not a citizen, and non-citizens coming to America and criticizing America, that's kind of jacked up. That's kind of jacked up. You think Brave Santa is mad at me? Yeah, he is, man. He's mad at me. I don't know. It's weird because, in general, I agree with what that guy Brave over on Chaotic Truth says, but he seems to be on kind of a self-destructive tear lately. I don't get it. I'm not on StreamYard. I'm on Talk Studio. What was I supposed to see? Yeah. Yep. So anyway, hey, what's up, Mikey Balls? Hey, you should come up. I'm going to talk news and stuff today. Come on up. We're gonna talk current events and shit. The interesting thing is that Trump's approval rating seems to be ridiculous right now. Like, Newsweek says it's uncharted territory, which, it's fucking Newsweek. What do you mad? What do you think there? But, it's the first time ever that there's while there's massive approval in every area, on the other side of it, they have massive disapproval in how he, in the way that people think he's handling the economy. Now, I don't know. I don't agree with that. But it's again, this is, and these are major news outlets saying this stuff, guys. You got to understand. You're talking about like NBC, ABC, all of the all of the people who get smacked down in the press briefings. You have Mike busy today. He can come up. You can come up too, Naomi. Clothed, of course. But thank you. I am looking very dapper today. I gotta grab. Man, I really hate doing this, but I do have to grab this. Give me 1 second. Damn it. Guys, I'll be right back. I'm just I have a call. I have to take it. I'm not ignoring you guys. I promise I'll be right back. Just give me like 5 minutes. Thanks, guys.
Mr. Boulay and the Department of Numismatics donated $10 super chat.
All right,
This
guys. Sorry about
intermission
that.
in Unreasonable Man with Grid 1 is sponsored by
Apparently,
Tactical Soap, a Grundike soap company.
we'll get to all that in a minute. Mikey Balls. Oh wait, I gotta give you the link to come up. Is Mikey coming up or no? What's Mikey doing? Is Mikey coming up? Mikey needs to come up. So, thank you for that, Mr. Boulay. I apologize for the intermission. I probably could have cammed down, but why bother? Yeah, sorry guys. I have someone staying in my Airbnb, and they're building a house nearby, and actually I guess they're living out of an RV. This is very strange to me, but they're doing it, and they are because we had massive storms in the area. They decided that they would rent an Airbnb. So they checked in, I think, on Thursday or Friday, and they've just kept adding nights over and over. So now their Airbnb won't let them add another night without creating a new trip, and that's some other fees and stuff like that. So I just basically had to negotiate with them so that they could so they can stay. So that's it. Thank you very much, Mr. Boulay, for the TTS. Guys, $10 and up does trigger the TTS, and it is a very pleasant English lady. Yeah. The link is in the mod chat, guys. So Mikey, if you want to come up, or somebody else, I do have an intermission video. It just didn't occur to me to use it. Let's see. Do I have intermission? Where's intermission at? There's intermission. There you go. There's my intermission video. That's the best intermission video ever. What are we talking about today? Well, we're talking about news, Eric Carr Oak. We're talking about how Trump is getting kind of lambasted in the press because they're saying that his disapproval ratings are lower than ever because of how he's doing on the economy, and he's never had approval ratings this low, and blah blah blah. Which I think they're kind of skewing the numbers here. And this is part of that buyer's remorse rhetoric that we get a lot from the. We get a lot of this from the left, quite often, actually, like more than I would, generally more than I give them credit for. But and basically what they say is that they, that we as conservatives are now super unhappy about how Trump is handling everything. Lawrence R., I did not know that the Sasquatch had that ability, but it makes sense. That way he can always be hiding and hidden. I don't think I've ever had Sasquatch up on the panel. Sasquatch, if you would like to come up on the panel and bullshit a little while, we can do that in a little bit. I do have to prep for a debate today. We're debating over on the Reverie. I'll give you the debate prompt in a few minutes. But yes, Arkar Oak, I agree. I think it's a psyop. I think that it's been the narrative and the rhetoric for the last couple of months about how we regret our vote. We have buyer's remorse, all of these kind of things. And right, Vengeful Truther, I think most of the actual news outlets show that his approval ratings at like 55%, which is really rare. Like, it's not unheard of, but it's rare, right? And I just really feel like Trump right now is kind of riding this wave of approval, but he's taking a lot of shots because he's doing a lot of things that the left hates. It's not that they dislike it; they hate it. They actually hate it. And unfortunately, there's really nothing that we can really do about it on the right at all. Except whine and complain. And then if we did that, we would just be the left. So, it is what it is. Yeah, we do laugh at them. That's true. I am laughing at them. I mean, this is pretty interesting. And guys, remember, we've got a lot of other things going on right now. We've got, we've got the Houthi rebels or Houthi whatever. Are we calling them rebels still? Can somebody clear that up? Are we calling them the Houthi rebels? I don't know. Can we Houthi pirates? Are we calling them? Are they pirates though? Because they just shoot at the boats from land. At any rate, they've shot at our boats again, and now we're going to have to wipe those people off the earth. You touch the boats again. So yeah, they're terrorists. Yeah, they are. And so bombing them is correct. Lord of Pies, Wonder Dog, good to see you, buddy. I think the approval rating is fake news, though. When you talk to people who approve, they approve things that aren't actually happening. They think manufacturing is coming back to America. Well, I believe that it will, 100%. Pirates run torrents with free downloads. That's true. Get rid of minimum wage. Wow. Did we just become friends? Yeah. Okay. 97% of our clothing, for example, he says, is made in places like Bangladesh, where they make less than $1 per hour. These industries are never coming here unless you pay a 500% tariff. Get rid of OSHA. So here's an interesting thing about that. It's kind of true. Like, and we have a lot of clothing made here that's sold at competitive pricing. The idea that somebody makes $1 a day in their money, it may be the equivalent of someone here making $20 a day, right? That's been a rhetoric that and a narrative that I've really fought against for many years. So, when I was in China, I was in China for a while, and so you had what they call salarymen who are beginning businessmen. Basically they're not really capable of doing anything. Their salary was super low, right? Like the equivalent of about $80 or $90 a month, but their cost of living is also very, very low. And so the when you're looking at this cost of living aspect of it, if you put a tariff, then that raises the cost of living, which raises their at what they have to pay people, and you get to the same thing. But their cost of living is not that different, right? It's just a units fallacy. I mean, you're saying that one of their unit is equal to one of ours, and it just isn't. But here's a problem. The actual did I miss something? Sure. So this is one of the interesting things about this. I don't know that we want jobs in the textile industry anymore. Maybe we do. And I mean, there are companies that make T-shirts and shit here, but a lot of it is made overseas. The jobs that are coming back are like, the Silicon Valley chip manufacturing, which was sent to Taiwan, which Trump denied, and then Biden approved and allowed that company to move their manufacturing from Silicon Valley to Taiwan. I believe that's coming back, and I think that that's a good thing. You have a lot of the car manufacturing is already relocated here, and they're actually going to increase production here. Now, are they American-owned companies? No, but they provide American jobs, and that's good enough for now. I would like to see less international investment in the U.S., but that's Congress likes that because they get kickback. So I don't know how we would get rid of that. And I believe that we're going to end up seeing more fabrication, manufacturing type jobs here. And the reason for that is things that require a reasonable level of skill, but are labor intensive, are probably not going to come back here. But things that require a high level of skill and training, but are done by machines, probably are going to come back here. That is a problem, actually, Lord of Pies. That's a real issue, is the labor unions. I don't know what we're going to do about that. It'll be interesting to see how that's dealt with, especially when you look at the dock worker strike earlier this year and how that went down. I would really like to see that. Chairman of the board, I can't get on board with that. But anyway, so we got a lot of fake news going on out there in the press, obviously, with the ridiculousness of the narrative, guys. And it's hard to not to get caught up into it, right? It's very difficult to get caught up in it, and I don't know. It's just a different sort of. It's really a different kind of dynamic right now. I don't have the answer. I wish I did. I really wish I did have one of those. I really wish I did have the answer. I'm one of those kind of guys. I could be. I don't know. All right, so I'm going to read you guys this debate prompt. I've chewed up a lot of time that I kind of wanted to get, and also Mikey didn't come up. So got to get into this debate prompt, guys. So here we go. You guys are going to like this one. Is this the right one? No, it is not. Here we go. Got it. All right, guys. So tonight's debate prompt on the Reverie. Now, I will be on the Reverie at, I think I should be going online about 7:30, something like that, but it will be played by ear. More than likely, the startup reels and stuff will hit live, and then whenever I'm actually sitting in front of the computer, then it will go live. So the debate prompt tonight is poppers. Now, if you're not aware of what a popper is, we'll get into that. Poppers are considered. This is the debate prompt. I'm reading it verbatim. This is not my words. This is the debate prompt. Link to the channel. I can link you to the Discord, or to Prime Cas. It'll be here, and it's already in the schedule. Yeah, poppers. Amyl night. It's not amyl. It's alkyl. All right. So poppers are considered to be a party drug. For decades, it has been popular amongst the gay community as it gives a feeling of euphoria and helps ease gay sex. However, recently, there is a spike in usage among heterosexuals as it makes its way into the mainstream. Unfortunately, this has also come with a rise in poisonings as newbies take the drug improperly. To get around federal drug legislation, poppers are marketed for other uses, such as leather cleaners. Furthermore, they come in bottles that resemble products like 5-Hour Energy Drink. And conveniently, this is not in the prompt, conveniently, they're often right next to the energy drink aisle. So rather than inhaling the drug, as is usually done, and the correct way, my understanding is, to do it, people new to the product are drinking it. This can, and often does, result in severe poisoning. To add to the confusion, conspiracy theorists like RFK, their words, not mine, RFK Jr. have said that the drug leads to AIDS. He didn't actually say that. This is a fallacy. So how would you deal with this drug? Would you crack down, as the FDA seems to be doing now? Would you regulate the packaging? Or would you ban it altogether? And should party drugs like poppers and ecstasy be treated the same as hard drugs like crack cocaine? Wow. All right. Now, this is why I got to have somebody up here on the panel to kind of go back and forth with. Mikey Balls, get up here. You can, or Anson Knowles, if Anson's probably at work. He's probably in a meeting right now. That's why he isn't reared his ugly head. Caucasian Sasquatch, if you're still out there, feel free to jump up here. So here's the. So RFK actually never said that. We'll get into that in a minute. So let me break this down. Yeah, let me break this down for you, and also the research that I have done, the preliminary research I've done on this. So first, poppers are related to amyl nitrate, which was used. That used to be called knockout drops. They used to be given to. They have amyl nitrate's very useful to regulate the or help with blood flow issues, because it will thin the blood out, and it can. But it has harmful things too, where it actually it will actually cause the heart rate issues and things like that. So, nobody rides for free kind of thing. I do believe it. So this is alkyl nitrate. Okay. which is similar. It doesn't do the same things as amyl nitrate, which is regulated, but it's close, and in some cases it's actually worse because it can cause severe heart irregularity and blood issues. So while they like to say that it just gives you this sense of euphoria and causes a relaxation and all of that, or a relaxed feeling, true, but it has very serious side effects. And one of those side effects is death, especially if you have heart issues. It is popular in the gay community because it does relax the muscles in the body, which eases gay sex. I didn't write this, it's just the way it is. And it is becoming more common in heterosexual sex as, first of all, deviancy and degeneracy abound, and people are they look for the next big thing, right? It does give that sense of euphoria. It does, make the muscles relax, that kind of thing. So that's all true. That is all true. You can't, some of it's misrepresented slightly, but it's all true. The poisoning part of it is if you drink it, it kills you. It doesn't make you sick. It generically kills you. Where they say that the problem here is it's like, well, there's a rise in poisonings. Yes. Basically, everybody that drinks this stuff dies. If you happen to be able to get to an emergency room and can get your stomach pumped and get pumped full of drugs to stop your heart from exploding, then yes, you may survive. However, again, those things all have to happen the way it happens. And it is also true that this drug it goes by a bunch of different names. It's regulated as a kind of it's actually basically not regulated, but they can't sell it as a drug, so they sell it as it's like leather cleaner, that kind of other things that it's for. The evil part of it is they literally name it like Bang or Rush or Jack or all of this stuff, and then they put it in bottles that look like 5 Hour Energy or whatever, and they put it right nail polish. They also, they use it as nail polish remover, and they put it right next to the energy drink aisle in convenience stores. They put it in a bunch of different places. So people that may not even actually know what it's going to do may buy it. And it looks like you should drink it, and people do drink it. And again, you drink it and you die. This is a problem that I think this is one of the things that's kind of glossed over, is that it's not you drink it and you get sick and you may or may not die. It's you drink it, heart explodes, you die. So, and now let's get into where the lies kind of start. Yeah, it does. It gives people the impression that it's just like caffeine, or maybe it's got some I don't know, like oil of wintergreen or some shit in it. I don't know, but no, it's not that. It's not harmless at all. Anyway, so now we get to the part where the lies start. So first of all, RFK is not a conspiracy theorist. What they try and reference is back in the when HIV was being researched, and we kind of have to look at this. We have to go back to what RFK said about AIDS and what the reality was. Okay, the reality is that RFK has stated several times that the AIDS scare back in the 80s was largely because Fauci refused to say that it was a disease that mostly affected homosexual men, because it did. And there was a massive scare. You guys probably don't remember this. I remember this. I lived through this. There was this deal where because Fauci steered the rhetoric and the narrative that it was going to affect heterosexual couples more than it affected gay couples, right? Like this was, you couldn't even say that this even affected homos. You couldn't say that. I mean, they didn't cancel you back then, but you'd be laughed at. No, it can affect anybody, and it affects hetero couples more. Just one drop of blood, you could have HIV and get AIDS for life. Now, right, Lord of Pies is absolutely correct here. We and he obviously was saying that there were so many lies told about HIV. They didn't tell you that if you basically don't have gay sex and didn't take poppers, you probably weren't going to catch it. I don't know about the poppers thing, but Chuck gets it. We were all told that stuff, right? Like over and over and over again. You guys probably don't remember. You guys don't remember that cops wouldn't touch a drunk gay guy because he might get spit on them, right? Like you guys don't understand see, people think Fauci and the COVID-19 thing is like new, but we already knew that he was capable of this. Those of us who are the last who screamed the loudest about this understood that way back in the day, he was absolutely he was the guy that said HIV came from gorillas, and that these people had relations with gorillas, and that's how AIDS happened. That's how HIV happened, right? And he said he made up all of this stuff. Fauci's that's why Fauci's a criminal. He's absolutely a criminal. So there was another guy who came out and said, hey, HIV is linked to specific types of drug use as well, right? And the way that you EOD, you're right. Fauci buried all of this guy's research. This guy was a biogenetic researcher, and I forget his name. I'll have it tonight because I don't have my notes with me. But there was a researcher, and RFK kind of pushed that guy's narrative to the front. Fauci didn't like it, but so that's this rhetoric that RFK Jr. is a what's up, Lestrange? Okay, that's cool, man. That's cool. Everybody likes you. I like, that's awesome, man. So in the debate tonight, one of the things I promise you, one of the things they're going to clear in on is RFK is now head of the agency that deals with poppers, basically. Well, him and Gabbard and some others. And they're going to say that RFK is a conspiracy theory because back in the day, he put forth this rhetoric narrative, or he put forth this, or he supported this guy's theory that HIV did not just come from sexual intercourse, that and a bunch of other things, but I honestly I don't care. RFK has a point that this is actually just simple logic. More gay sex All right, poppers lead to more gay sex. And in the case of heterosexuals, may lead to more anal sex. Gay sex and potentially some anal sex does lead to more cases of HIV. Therefore, if you're using poppers and that leads to all of these things and it encourages it, then yes, by definition, that's what the logic train is flawless. That then these poppers do contribute to the growth of and spread of HIV. Which, by the way, we've had a handle on for a long time, right? Like we've really had a handle on it for a long time. The fact that some of these things have fallen by the wayside is great. I mean, the fact that it's safe is great. The fact that we're going to ignore why it's safe, right? Is or not safe, but we've contained this. If we're going to ignore the reasons why, yes, correct. HIV is bloodborne. It requires more than just simple fluid transit. You guys don't understand. Fauci went before the entire United States, just like he did with COVID, and he said, 1 drop of saliva and you could get HIV. 1 drop of like kissing somebody, you could get HIV. Somebody sneezes on you, you could get HIV. He said that. It's the same thing with COVID. It's exactly the same thing. And he was wrong. He was wrong and wrong and wrong and wrong and wrong and consistently wrong. And so if we want to talk about conspiracy theorists, we have to, I think RFK is his logic train is flawless, right? Fauci's logic train is completely dictated by how much money he's going to make somewhere by, paid by somebody. That's simple, guys. It's that simple. So I don't know that. So that's where they're going to try and come at RFK, who's now head of this, being a conspiracy theorist. They've talked about his food, his food rules, right? Well, he's right on everything. Literally everything he said, he's right. Less processed foods, more real foods. All of the things that Fauci said not Fauci. All the things that RFK has said, correct. All the things he's wanted to talk about, correct. They can't let him have more and more wins. So they picked this issue, the poppers issue, where he's gone in and said, hey, poppers can lead to more HIV, and more HIV is bad. So we need to regulate this somehow. He's anti-science. Is he? I feel like he's pretty science. I don't know that he's anti-science. I think he's anti-bad science. Right, Chris Lestrange, yeah. And it came, supposedly it came from South Africa, right? Wasn't it supposed to come out of Peoria? Right, Lord of Pies, that's a solid point. You can't market alcohol or vapes to kids, but you can market food dyes and sugary things that'll make them fat and diabetic and die. And I'm going to guess that that kids can walk into a convenience store and buy poppers off the shelf. Right? They're unregulated. So here's a problem. This sets the quandary that we come to, right? And I got to cover this in my opening statement. So the reason I'm talking about all of this in the way that I am is I'm trying to figure out what my opening statement's going to be. Yeah, you got to read the whole joke. Yeah. Breathe underwater. Yeah. That's funny. So if we're going to should we ban or should we put on the controlled substances list alkyl I think it's alkyl nitrate? Maybe we should, should kids be able to, just like vape, should kids be able to walk in and buy it? We regulate tobacco, we regulate alcohol, we regulate a bunch of other things, not regulating this. Should it be the same as alcohol? Possibly. Should there be more controls on this substance to the point where you can should we put controls on it such that it's in line with those other things? I don't know. I'm not really sure where we get to that. A macronutrient, is alkyl nitrate a macronutrient? I'm not really sure. Bilbus, game that out for me. Hey, John Galt, thanks for the raid, buddy. We got raided by John Galt and his fellas. Awesome. I appreciate that, John Galt. John Galt, if you have stopped by, you're welcome to come up on the panel. We're talking. I'm doing some debate research and prep. Oh, sugar, yeah. I don't disagree, Seth Spence, but I'm trying to figure this out. I'm having, I'm not having. Got to get I got to get it down to where I understand what we're talking about in a way that makes sense. Because I got to have a good opening statement. Well, let me define my position on this first. So my position would be that these things are not harmless. They do. You can die very easily by misusing them basically at all, right? Like literally, it's a difference between inhaling it and drinking it. If you drink it, you die, especially a kid. Kid's going to die. You don't like my hat? I love my hat. I bought it in England. Anyway, so Chris Lestrange, that's actually a that's actually a solid point. I think so. I think my position is in line with this. I think my position on this is going to be, or pardon me, that's chairman of the board, not Chris Lestrange. I think that I think this is in line with my. I think that's in line with my position. This is. Let's see. Why can't I find that now? This is also in line with my position. Poppers are more dangerous than it seems. In South Africa, they're only sold in sex stores. I could go along with that. I actually really could go along with that. The question is, how would you regulate that? What would you have? Would you have to require? Pardon me. Would you have to require signage, labeling? Would you make the manufacturers responsible for that if they didn't comply? I agree. Regulating sugar is important too, but unfortunately, I can't get too distracted on this deal. I don't think I have either, Bilbus, but apparently it's a real thing, and I don't know that you would notice it if you did see it. Yeah, 18 plus. I could go along with that. Plus, in a sex store or something like that, it would be you you would assume that the staff there, if somebody was in buying it, they could, you know, they could get a sense on if it's their first time or something, and maybe give them some guidance or whatever. That's funny, Lord of Pies. I didn't see that last night. What if you said you're in free hospital now? I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. Hope you get better. It's 21 plus in the U.S. Okay. Could go with that. Yeah, casinos, you have to be 21. Booze, you have to be 21. I think sex stores, you have to be... sex stores, you probably have to be maybe 18, 17, something like that. Nothing like two eyes. Wow. You all right, John? You okay? John Burt, ladies and gentlemen, John Burt. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm in that boat of put them in sex stores. They sell them, and they have to be 18 plus to buy, or maybe 21 plus to buy. I think 18 plus, right? Yeah, I really don't know. I agree. Our car Oak, I'm in that same boat. I had to learn all this stuff. So you will be okay, but you're not 100. Okay. Well, I'm glad to know that you will be okay. You only know about it because Steven Crowder covered it 7 years ago. I'll have to look that up. Yeah. You think your male enhancement, black face shoe polish? That's funny. That's funny, chairman of the board. That's pretty good. Okay. Ticket card on right arm. I'm not really sure what that means. Whiffits are ghetto as fuck. That's true. That's true. Whiffits are ghetto as fuck. I've never done drugs, so all of this stuff is like new to me, and I don't really, most of the time I don't even have an opinion on it because I just don't, I can't even relate. But you know, whatever it is. Interesting stuff, guys. Interesting stuff. I was kind of hoping I'd have a guest up here by now. Okay. Everything used to be 18 plus here, Crystal Strange. Unfortunately, it didn't stay that way. Oh, your wrist has a band. I got you. That's interesting. No, I do not have every flavor of Galaxy Gas. Yeah, come on up, Crystal Strange. Let me find you in Discord. I'll throw you the link. I was trying to get Kat to come up. Kat's being a pain. Clover Tack isn't around. It's all right. We're all right. All right, link is in your Discord, bro. Your left eye dominant? Okay. I got to be honest with you, Seth Spence. I'm in that same boat. I just think it's all ghetto as fuck. Like, I've never done drugs, never drank, never smoked anything except tires. and competition. It's funny. I'm actually surprised. I need Arthur Dye in here. I did run an auto shop. I'm retired now, Lord of Pies. I am actually looking at buying a business, though. Welcome up, Steve Posey. I am feeling much better today. I still am coughing once in a while, nothing big. But waiting on the great Chris Lestrange to make it up here. And there he is, the man, the myth, the small PP legend.
Hell yeah.
Hey, entertain the audience 1 second. I gotta jump off. Let me hide that.
We'll do.
Just entertain the audience with South Africa nonsense.
Okay. Your government's better than ours. Ours makes bad rules. That's it. That's the crux of South African news, I would say. Welcome in everybody for another episode of The Unreasonable Man. Please like, subscribe. Well, make sure you're subscribed to Grid One. I found myself get notifications for streams on YouTube that I believed I was subscribed to. And you know what? I just clicked on that account and just made double sure just to check that bell icon, whether that little notification is ticked. The bell wasn't ticked, and you know what? Some channels I wasn't even subscribed to. Make sure you're not a dum-dum like Chris, and go subscribe. Make sure your love has been shown to Grid One for providing great content. And then, yeah, it seems like Grid is having I jumped in at the tail end of this discussion. It seems like he's chatting about poppers, which is something I know a little bit about. I've even, in my day as a young man, taken it, not for the reasons that I found out it was used for. Yeah, I like goals. So that was just young man, and somebody was like, oh, this is a party thing. And it's like, yeah, I'd say avoid that, ladies and gentlemen. It's something that, yeah, it's interesting. It also seems like that's a the gateway. We always have the gateway discussions. It seems like that's a gateway element to not liking goals anymore. It seems that that's a common occurrence, which is quite
gateway
interesting.
drug to homosexuality.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I don't have the lisp. Don't have the lisp. Whatever.
The wisp.
Yeah, I don't have it. I don't have the limp wrist. I don't have the lisp. I don't have any of it.
No, it's actually funny, Grid. Like I said, I've actually taken that stuff before at a club. And one of my friend's girlfriends.
Really?
Yeah. So my friend's girlfriend, for some reason, she was like, sniff this bottle. And I'm like, I was a young man. So I was like, all right, I'll do it. And I was like, what the hell was that? And she's like, it's poppers. I'm like, nah, I don't know if I like that. It's similar to when you huff benzene, Grid. It's like a similar feeling, like if you inhale too much benzene.
This is going to be another one of those debates, I feel like, that we're going to get, because this is how this goes on Prime, is that it's going to get, what they're trying to do is they're trying to go after RFK and say that he's a conspiracy theorist. I'm not really sure that I'm going to be able to get there. So I'm probably going to end up redirecting this into some debate about it'll end up being something weird, like, why is it that we're constantly assaulted with this? The small minority of homosexuals out there are constantly in the news. Why is that? Like, why do we even care? So.
Yeah, Grid, I even heard you guys had another incident there with like damn kids, with a situation where a transitioning person went into the girls' bathroom, and it was like, I think they were 13 at a high school.
Yeah. I mean, we have a lot. I mean, we have a lot going on here right now. One of the interesting things that came out the other day is the number of detransitioning people is at an all-time high, which it kind of
That's a
has to
good
be,
thing.
right? It kind of
Yeah.
has to be because it's the reverse bell curve, right? So you had all
Yes.
these people going along to get along and transitioning, and now they realize, oh fuck, this sucks, and now they're transitioning back into reality. So it is what it is.
Yeah,
But
it's a
yeah, I
good
think it's a
thing.
good thing. I think it is a good thing. Poppers are the gateway to becoming a Furby. The Furby might actually be in chat. The Furby sometimes listens in on the show to see if the Furby is mentioned. But I don't think the Furby will come up. Normally it's a nighttime creature. I think during the daytime its power is very weak. So
You know, I like your law, Grid. I think it's just working and it's a sad story, but I like Grid's law. It's like a vampire. It's a little vampire fox but it's
yeah.
an energy vampire, Grid. It doesn't drink blood. It
It is
fucking
no,
drains
it's
energy.
absolutely true, man. It's absolutely true. So I think this debate tonight, I don't know. I think it's going to kind of suck, but we'll see. We'll see if I can make it entertaining and worthwhile. And if not, I'll punch out early, like I have done. I figured out that when Prime's panel starts becoming a pain in the dick, where it's just not entertaining anymore, I'm just not having any fun. It's not cool, and I'll read you the topic in a minute, EOD.
Yeah, I wanted to say I'm a bit tired too, Grid. I came in a little bit late. Just
Yeah, I got you. I got
the
you. Let me.
prompt.
I'll
Yeah,
get
the
you through.
actual prompt.
Yeah, I got well. I mean, it's one of their. It's one of this like, you know, ridiculously long prompts. This is the other problem. Is it's such a long prompt, and it's so disingenuous. But did you see? I've got this pulled up. I'm going to read it. But before I do this, did you see
Yeah.
Prime get blown out on Tim Pool?
No, was he on Tim?
Dude, you've got to watch it.
Okay.
Prime gets blown the fuck out. First of all,
Ooh.
Gibbs does it, but Gibbs is trying to like still be Prime's friend. So Gibbs does this thing I've noticed where he goes hard for a little bit, but then he kind of gets into this, we're all buddies here,
He
and he
pulls
just
back.
kind of, he pulls back. Yeah, he doesn't go that hard. Where especially once I have the taste of blood, I'm just going in all the way. But
Yeah.
So Gibbs had first of all, he made some poor points and he didn't win as much as I thought he should have won. He's still ahead, but he could have done better. And then he kind of he goes limp. He shoots his wad, rolls over,
Yeah.
he's smoking a cigarette, he's going limp.
So Gibbs did it, not Tim.
Yeah, Gibbs beat Prime. I mean, it was probably getting kind of boring for Gibbs, but then Prime wouldn't just pull back, kind of admit defeat and just talk. Just talk. He's once he sensed that Gibbs was kind of pulling back, Prime ramped back up.
Yeah, he would get a second wind.
He thought that he had Gibbs on the ropes and he ramped back up. Well, the problem is that was at the end of the debate, and Tim, pardon me, Tim's like, I've had enough. We're closing. This is what's going on. And he tore Prime apart. Like absolutely tore him apart. It was an epically short but fierce and pointed destruction of Prime Kai. It just was. And Tim honestly wasn't even that nice about it. Right. The thing about Gibbs is that Gibbs will go hard at you, but he's kind of nice, right?
Yeah.
So here's the prompt, guys. I'm going to read the prompt again. It is long-winded. I'll add my comments at the end. This is the prompt. Poppers are considered to be a party drug For decades, it has been popular among the gay community as it gives a feeling of euphoria and helps ease gay sex. However, recently there is a spike in usage among heterosexuals as it makes its way into the mainstream. Unfortunately, this has also come with a rise in poisonings as newbies take the drug improperly. To get around federal drug legislation, poppers are marketed for other usage. Usage is such as leather cleaners. Sidebar: there's also marketed as nail polish remover and some other odds and ends. Furthermore, they come in bottles that resemble products like 5-Hour Energy Drink. So, and very misleading names. Another sidebar: you all will often find them labeled as Bang, Mule Kick.
Yeah, all of these weird names like they
All
do
these
with the
weird
Duffy
names.
Balls.
Yeah. So rather than inhaling the drug as is usually done, people new to the product are drinking it. This can result in severe poisoning. It's not can, it just is. It just does.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you don't drink that shit.
You don't drink poison.
But who the hell drinks it without smelling it? Because the effect is in smelling it. Like, how stupid are people?
I don't know. To add to the confusion, conspiracy theorists like RFK Jr. have said the drug leads to AIDS. It's actually true. So how would you deal with this drug? Would you crack down, as the FDA seems to be doing now? Would you regulate the packaging, or would you ban it altogether? And should party drugs like poppers and ecstasy be treated the same as hard drugs like crack cocaine? And that is the debate prompt. So right out of the gate, the first part of it, he's just basically taking that from an NBC article.
That sounds like true. A prattle. That's a fucking prattle prompt right there.
Yeah, it's always prattle. So all of that is accurate right up until the fact this can result in death or severe poisoning. It always resorts in severe poisoning, and you almost always die. Right? Like that needs to be like we just can't gloss that over and say, well, you might die. No, you drink it, you're gonna die. Unless you just happen to be next to an emergency room, or the guy, that's doing drugs with you knows how to, give you like Ipecac or something to make you throw up, whatever. But anyway.
Yeah.
So to the conspiracy theorists like RFK Jr. is not a conspiracy theorist. They're drawing this from that he has said that drugs leads to AIDS, or that the drug leads to AIDS, and he's not wrong about that. But really, what the news article pointed out, which they're going to try and or they're trying to sneak by me so they can surprise me on the backside. See, gay stuff. They're trying to surprise me by saying, me and the other conservatives, by saying that, by bringing in that way back in the 80s when HIV and AIDS were first being researched, Fauci maintained that HIV he maintained that HIV was a virus that came from animals that was transmitted through men having sex with monkeys or getting bit by monkeys or something like that. But he really took the sex part of it. And Fauci lied to everyone and said that basically a drop of saliva, a drop of spit, you could get AIDS, that heterosexuals were more at risk than homosexuals for getting AIDS. We now know that that's absolutely false. He lied through his fucking teeth. RFK called him on that, and there was a microbiologist that was researching HIV that said that HIV does come from homosexual sex, and there was some research that he did that it was there was some peptides or something that are produced during homosexual sex that can actually precipitate HIV. It doesn't cause the virus, but it makes you more susceptible to mutation virus.
Good, yes, that definitely. If you have a lower immune system, it'll hit you way harder because obviously it targets your immune system. Secondly, it's ridiculous that you guys sell that stuff in gas stations. That's completely crazy. And then third, the fact that Fauci has been doing this shit because, like I said, as children, we in South Africa, we would learn in like almost like sexual education. We would learn that don't be scared of people with AIDS because you can drink out of the same cup, you can eat out of the same plates, nothing's going to happen. That we got taught as kids already. So it's crazy that that was still going on in America.
Yeah, no, that's a real thing. So here's and this is the reality of it, right? So with what they tried to do back then was they basically tried to say that AIDS was going to end the human race, right? Like people were afraid to kiss. I went over this. A lot of the chats heard this twice now.
Yeah,
dude, people were afraid to kiss. I remember all of this. I remember when cops would not arrest someone who
yeah, you said for spit.
It was an AIDS patient. They wouldn't arrest him because they were afraid of getting him spitting on them. Right?
Yeah.
That's where all of the, you see the cops wear the rubber gloves now every time they do anything. That came out of the AIDS epidemic or scare or whatever.
Yeah.
And you weren't supposed, you couldn't drink after them. You could, there was all of this stuff. Well, it went from you can get a single drop of sweat and you could get AIDS to, it has to be, you have to come in contact with liquid through an open cut or through your mouth or through your nose or something like that. It went from that to, now you have to, it's bloodborne. So it actually has to be blood or bodily fluids like semen.
Yes.
And so this is why it's more rare in the heterosexual community is because the amount of anal sex is much less, right?
Yeah.
So,
do you know? I think that also might happen, right? That could be contributing to it. This might sound a little bit crass, but a butthole is not meant to have stuff shoved in it.
Well, you gotta listen to Dr. Drew on that. I spent like a decade listening to Dr. Drew.
So yes, there could be tearing and damage happening with blood.
He talks about how it's just horrible. It's just absolutely I remember one time he had this girl call in and that was the only thing that did it for her. And he's like, you've got to change. You're doing so much damage to your body.
Yeah. I've had this discussion with I obviously know some gay dudes, and I was like, dude, just because you can does not mean you should.
Yeah.
Right? There's a difference between female anatomy and a butthole. It's not just because they can do similar things doesn't mean it's made to do that. The human body adapts.
And
it's
again,
not made to do that.
RFK. All right, so RFK did support the scientist who basically said that HIV did not necessarily have to come from these animals, right?
Yeah.
And he did support that, and that guy's research has been just shoved under the rug. It's very hard to even find mention of it. And I've got some of it. I'm going to have it for tonight. I don't have it here. It's on my laptop where I was doing the research at my desk this morning. So the RFK was right about everything, and Fauci made him out to be some kind of loose cannon, delusional, conspiracy theorist, all of this stuff. But he was actually right. He was being the most based one. On the other side of it, Fauci was literally going with whatever theory that somebody would pay him to promote. or we keep him in the spotlight. Either one. He was basically the same. So yeah, and so it's an interesting deal with this, and you know, obviously, homosexuals have felt like that they've been targeted over AIDS for a long time. I think that that's true. They are, and they should be, because this is a dangerous disease. This is a life-ending disease, right?
Well, one thing that we know, unfortunately, with the homosexual community is their rate of promiscuity and partner swapping is quite high compared to majority of the straight community, which could definitely will contribute to that.
So I'm really trying to understand what tact they're going to try and take tonight in this debate, because it's going to be. So I know that Scott, as a libertarian, is going to probably say that if kids can get a hold of it, then it needs to be controlled to some extent, but adults can do what they want, right? Although it might roll back to the harm principle, I'm not really sure. So the two libertarians will probably stick on this. Gibbs and I will be pretty much, hey, it's easy enough to deal with. Just make it like alcohol, vapes, and all the other things. Just make it not available to kids. And I think that we'll be more in alignment with the libertarians than anyone else. But I think the liberals are going to be caught trying to justify, on the one hand, saying that, yeah, it's okay, it should be completely unregulated, but that people have a personal responsibility to not get AIDS and not do all of these things. So, right. Seth Spence is right. The libs are going to want to legalize the drug. He says, 1, they want to legalize the drugs. 2, it devolves into a gay trauma treatment. Yes, that's exactly where I see it going. Exactly. And RFK conspiracy. They want to target RFK and to portray him as a conspiracy and a nut, because he is being exceedingly effective in the position in which he's been placed.
Greg,
I agree with you. I think you're right.
I'm gonna say something. There was one chat that came up. The unfortunate case is it's not about homosexual behaviors in Africa, why that's spread. It's unfortunately our age of consent is quite low, and let's just say some of the communities even don't care too much about that. So that is the reason it's spread here. It's why I brought up the blood argument with regards to intercourse. Because if you're having people that are older engaging with minors essentially at mass, unfortunately, that has the conclusion of hymens and things and blood being introduced.
Sure.
So it's actually worse than homosexuality. It's not great. It's not a bunch of gay people here. It's unfortunately a different kind of problem here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, we didn't suffer that problem, but you guys were accused of having sex with monkeys to trigger the whole thing. So,
well, I mean, I don't know too much about that conclusion. I mean, I guess anything's possible, but I'm not sure about that. I've looked at some research.
It's kind of the bat thing that they went with COVID, right?
Yeah. No, I believe
it's the same narrative.
Yeah, I
say they ate the monkeys, and that's how it started. Tainted flesh.
Yeah, I think it was, Greta, honestly, from what I can tell, unfortunately, it feels like the same narrative. I think that one might have been tinkered with a little bit. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, so I remember back in the day when I was a youth, that the idea behind the way AIDS started was that people had relations with monkeys, and
that's how it happened.
And that's
funny that it's funny that Mr. Fucci was involved in both of these. Oh, it came from an animal, and then it's sounded like he was in the back end tinkering with things. Very, very coincidental, I would say.
To me, I may steer this into Fauci is the lyingest son of a bitch ever.
Yeah, Fauci's a piece of shit is a good way to take it.
Yeah, I think that may be the way to go. Because it's he literally has lied, cheated. I don't know if he's stolen, but certainly it's it's not it's not.
Greg, you could tie it in with the fact of RFK has also written that the real Anthony Fauci book before a lot of this went down. So might be a good reason why he's getting severely attacked because of allegiance
Sure.
and kind of the stuff. And it's something funny that Joe Rogan ended up saying, right? If everything in that book that RFK was saying about him was incorrect, he would have been sued already, right? Why isn't he sued?
Yeah. So in the chat for this debate, right? We got a private chat. So Sociologic is like the Poppers discussion would bring Fabian back to us, and sure enough, Scott is like plugged in, ready to go. And then, but Gibbs is going to take this in a completely separate. He's like, I don't care about the prompt. He's like, bro, this auto pin scandal is about to undo the entire Biden presidency. Have you heard of the auto pin scandal? Do you know what that is?
No.
So, and this has nothing to do with the debate prompt tonight. This is a complete departure, guys. So if you're not following along, that's okay. Don't worry about it. It's tough to follow along with it. So the auto pin scandal is that they're finding that a lot, and I mean a lot of the sorry?
Yes.
They're finding that a lot of the documents, laws, orders, etc., that were supposedly signed by Biden were, and I think it's like 80% now, it may be 90%, were signed by AutoPin, which means that Biden himself did not sign those.
Oh,
right?
fuck.
An AutoPin is what people use to sign their signature when they're doing like autographs for to send out to people, right?
Yeah.
It's basically like it's a machine that holds a pen and
fuck.
And it signs somebody's name, right? It's a CNC printer. And so they're saying that a lot, like as many and maybe more than 90% of the document signed by Biden may have been auto-pinned. That is going to be that could be lit, man. Yes, Roosevelt, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Eleanor Roosevelt was basically he was at the end of his I think the last 2 years of his presidency, he was a brain dead pile of mush.
Yes, and then she basically took over his role in secret, right?
Yeah, and nobody saw him publicly, right?
It kind of sounds like what you guys had before
with
Mr.
Biden,
Trump
right?
came back in.
Funny enough, obviously a communist, right? Yeah.
It's also funny because, Greg, I saw video and I never knew this. Biden was involved with our sanctions and the stuff that happened in the late 80s in our country. He was yelling about the DI and stuff and, that we were unfair, which is not wrong. But he was making a big push for what happened, in 94 and everything with Mandela and all of that. It's funny that he was involved then and Fauci and then now again.
Yes, FDR, I believe he served 3 terms, not 4, but could be.
Yeah.
I'd have to look that up. I think it was 3 terms, not 4. So, yeah. Yep. Yeah, at certain points, it did seem like you saw Jill more than him. And remember the video of Biden did he? Oh, he did have 4 terms? Okay, I was wrong. Remember Biden, the video of Biden getting out of the SUV at the airport and almost jogging over to the ramp.
Yeah.
And like, you knew it was a body. You knew that that was an actor. You knew that that was not Joe Biden, right? Like none of the mannerisms were the same. None of the, nothing was the same. And they were like, yeah, see, he's healthy. And you're like, but that's literally like 2 hours later or 3 or 4 hours later, whatever, when he's in front of a conference, he's basically needing a walker. I mean, you can't, come on. Nobody believes that. Right. So, that was pretty terrible. So, John Burt, haven't been in a hospital for 13 years. I like that. What's up, Mr. Boulay?
Mr. Boulay.
So he did 3 terms? Mr. Boulay saying 3, chairman of board is saying 4. Google, help me out, bro. Help me out, Google. Save me, Mr. Googles. What you say, Shunny? That's right. So the auto pin, if somebody else, if Biden was incapacitated and somebody else ordered things signed, that means those. What does that mean? Does it mean that they're not signed? So it was 3 terms. I was right. Awesome. The fact is, they're claiming Joe Biden is mentally unfit to stand before Congress. Is he mentally fit to be? Yeah, right.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, that was true. Oh, he was elected for the 4th term. Gotcha. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a fair point. I feel like I feel like his inner circle did him dirty grid. They used him like they used Stanley at the end of his life, just abusing an old downtrodden man at the end of his life. That wasn't right.
Yeah, Stan Lee, man, what a cool dude. What a cool life.
I don't know if you saw, Grid. It's a big thing now that there's a documentary coming out about how they abused him at the end of his life. Somebody close to him shot footage about everything that went down, where they basically forced him to sit for like 9 to 16 hours, no bathroom breaks, no food, no drink. And he's saying like, can I please stop? And they go, no. And they put their headpiece back in his ear. They're going, we're going to get every single penny out of you. And he's just sitting in the chair as a crippled old man. And they just like, nah, we're sucking every last little bit of breath out of you. And I mean, he was 95 doing this. It's a shame.
Yeah, I think he was pretty close to that. If he wasn't 95, he was pretty close.
Yeah, it's a shame what people do.
Yes. Lord of Pies. If Biden was unfit and if he did not order, and they can't prove it, that he's ordered them to use the auto pin, then it's all null and void, which is all of those pardons that he signed for everyone.
Oh, shit.
The only one that may still be relevant is the one that I can't remember if he signed the one for his son in the in the office at the desk, or if it was signed in a closed ceremony. So everything that was literally all of the ones that were in like closed off. Everyone that was behind closed doors, I think, would be suspect. John Burt, yeah. Either his cabinet members were using him or he was actually unfit to hold office. It's one or the other. This is why the Democrat Party is collapsing in on itself. Yes, absolutely. Would that be why Trump is using those fancy pens? Well, I mean, and he's cool. He's got style.
Yeah, and he does it on camera. He makes a thing about it.
Yeah. No, he's like, he wants to show people that, okay, I'm old, but I get it done. right?
Yeah, I've heard some people, me as the artist, people are like, oh, he's using a Sharpie. I'm like, bitch, that's a fancy ass calligraphy pen right there. That's like top of
Yeah,
the line shit. It's not a fucking
yeah,
Sharpie.
yeah. He's got like it's even beyond Mont Blanc, man. That's like,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like those high end calligraphy pens that they use for like proper script work.
yeah. Yeah, he's showing that he is signing it. It's his decision, and that's just what it is. So I get it, man. I agree, and I agree with it. More importantly, I not only understand it, I think it's the right thing to do. So it's totally fine. So, yep, and yeah. Hopefully, in a few hours. John Bird is in the hospital, guys. That's we've had a lot of our not a lot. We've had several people lately have health issues. I hope everybody's doing well. We've
Yeah,
had
I don't like that. He was my first mod. He's a good guy. I don't know. He must get better.
yep, yep, and poor oh man, poor Fabian Liberty doesn't know how he feels about the popper subject. I don't think he says he's like 50-50 on it.
Oh, he probably likes to use them.
Oh, maybe the auto pin. Maybe it's the auto pin. We're gonna
He
get
takes the poppers and then uses the auto pen for the wrong reasons.
yeah, yeah, that's right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's not a robot. Exactly. So what's new in Chris's world? You won on VK. What was the debate the other night?
Oh, grid. It's I don't know. It was kind of a blur. I was up for too many days and somehow won the daytime one at the end. And then yeah, somehow won the big one at night. So 1-2 in a day, which was a bit mind blowing. I was actually properly flustered. I at the end I couldn't really even speak properly. Couldn't word good.
Mm. Well, you must have won that. I mean, we all know that VK is not. It's not fair. It's a popularity contest. So
I mean, I will say that I was probably the shortest time of most people on the last two. So I still maintain. I think there might have been a bit of chat feeling bad for
feeling
me
bad
for
for you.
having been killed
You got a
for
pity win,
months now.
bro. Oh
I,
man, he's
it's
admitting
because
a
I got
pity.
yeah, well, I kept getting killed the last couple of months. I don't approve of this, but it seems like it. But no, the Cash App assassin tried to take me out at the end. I think the last seconds, a dude just decided that he wasn't going to let him run the show anymore because he tried to kill everybody and have nobody win. And
I
then there
heard
was
that.
some,
I heard
yeah,
that.
there was, some legend in chat that ultimately ended up spending like $500 to make me win. So,
Whoa! Hold on, stand by. So Fabian Liberty and Gibbs are talking about this AutoPen thing, and Liberty's like, "Hey, I'm more shocked to learn that Biden signed almost no legislation or EOs or pardons in his entire presidency. The only ones he actually signed were just for a few photo ops, and that's very few."
fuck.
And Gibbs is like, "Yeah, it's total bait and switch, forgery." Supposedly, his dropout letter may have also been auto-pinned. He may not have signed it. So wow.
Oh, shit.
This is
That's not good.
wow. Oh man, if they can prove this, woo. The real question is, did he even have the mind to be president? Or instead, a bunch of handlers were running America?
100%.
Ooh, chills, baby, chills.
Oh, no.
It is easily proven. That's exactly right. See, the thing is that you can prove auto pin.
Oh shit. Yeah, because the thing is, I mean, good. You know how like the high end collectibles guys, how those guys can look at signatures under magnifying glasses and stuff. and assess the you know the every little detail of pen strokes, pressure used, all of these things, so they will be able to tell whether it's like a replicated signature.
So here's the thing. I don't believe that they're allowed to use auto pen to sign legislation. That's why I put this up. Does the law or the Constitution or whatever say it has to be with an ink pen by hand? I believe it says it has to be signed. And he says to him, this sounds kind of like DocuSign. So DocuSign is legal for most of us. But I think he has to hand sign the the legislation. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, Greg, if your job as a president encompasses all of this decision making, the lowest on the fucking bar is just signing a piece of paper. I mean, if you can't do that,
Well, I mean, I think that it's legal to use DocuSign for some contracts, right? Like I can DocuSign I can DocuSign a lot of things, but I can't DocuSign a mortgage. I have to physically go there. And
yes.
I can't DocuSign anything that has to be notarized.
And like bank accounts, right? You have to go in and give a fingerprint. You can't just
Right.
do that.
Right. And this is the problem with it. Like the auto pen is there for him to sign like letters to dignitaries, things like that. Other people have to sign and witness. There has to be witnesses to all of these bills and everything being signed. Auto pen, you can't do that. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting thing. I think the first thing I would want to do in this case, I would want to show elder abuse, right? I would want to, if I were king of the world, or if I were the speaker of the house or whatever, I would say, hey, we need to understand what was going on in this presidency, and we need all of his medical records.
Yes. Yes, and like I said, people that work in the fields of identifying signatures, I mean, those guys have to be on point, because some of that stuff's millions of dollars, right? That they have to verify, put their names on. So there's something that can be very easily proven. And you brought up a valid point with the pardons that would nullify them.
Well, the biggest thing to me would be if the letter that he sent out saying that because remember that letter was a surprise. Remember? Well, you may not, but all the Americans in the audience remember during the election cycle, the letter of Biden withdrawing was a complete shock.
Yes,
it was totally unseen. Nobody saw it coming. So, what if that letter was a complete forgery that Biden never sent it? What if it was, if I don't even know who would, like Secretary of State or, whoever his handlers were. What if they wrote it and used auto pen to sign it and sent it out? What does that mean for the entire election? Right? That means that Kamala's presidential run was fake.
Yes.
Right? Like she was not a candidate. Ooh, if I was a Democrat, I'd be so pissed.
Shit.
I would be so pissed. Like, this is crazy. I don't normally do conspiracy theory stuff, but
this can all be proven, right? That's the problem.
Yeah, I think it can all be proven. Now, whether or not it will be proven, that's a totally different argument.
No, fair point.
In theory, it should be as simple as collecting those documents in theory, should be as
Verifying.
simple as collecting the documents, putting the analyzing the signatures, and if they're auto pin, if all of them, if they've already been, if it's already been done, because it sounds like it's already been done, because they're saying up to 90% of the documents were auto pin.
Because you could verify date, signature, authenticity, and then
Yeah.
correlate that, like you said, ask for medical records. And then you could correlate these things by
that would
date.
be the last thing would be, once you verify that those signatures are fake, ask for the medical records, and then I think it's a
Your
big
case.
mess. I think it's a huge problem. What do you guys in the chat think? I think this is I think this is a big deal.
Yeah,
I don't think
definitely.
so.
Yeah, Lord of Fires also made some good points. Yeah, no, I think this is a bit of an issue. It's a bit of an issue, and it could have ramifications for a lot of, like you said, the pardons, policies, things that were put in.
Yeah, I think it's
And
big.
then the question gets asked, who made these calls? Because now that would be another deeper dive that would have to go into this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, man. It's pretty interesting. It's crazy stuff, man. And Gibbs is all over this stuff. He's like really Gibbs is all over this stuff, man. He's really got it going on. It's really awesome. But yeah, it's gonna be cool, man. So the debate tonight will be tonight. It'll be pretty lit. I think. Again, they make these long, rambling ass prompts so that I personally think that they tend to have some directionality that they want to go, and they put those out there so we can't really see it. So
yeah, I think there will be a bit of sweeping under the rug happening, possibly with this. Some calls being made to let shit go on this one. Might just disappear after a week or so.
Well, I mean, look, they're definitely going at. I mean, look, the left is going after RFK. They're going after Tulsi. They're going after all of these people, and they're the ones that they can't claim are criminals. They claim they're conspiracy theorists. If they're not conspiracy theorists, they're there's some other character flaw. It's all character assassination with the left. They can't say that they honestly can't say that any of the policies that Tulsi is endorsing or RFK is endorsing, they can't say, well, those are bad policy. They just can't do it. All they've got to do is, all they can do is just jack up, just jack people up. That's it. So what's going on in the chat?
No, there's some fucking spurg in there trying to goat you, Grid.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fucking low IQ shit going on.
Oh, it's just Ava. Who cares? Nobody ban Ava. We need the comedic relief. So,
I love you, Grid. You're the shit. You're like, oh, okay, no, I know that spurg.
yeah, nobody gives a shit. But nobody ban her. I don't think I have any mods out there that give a shit right now. I think Mr. Boulay doesn't care, and I'm pretty sure Mikey Balls is at lunch, so I don't think anybody's there. So nobody ban her. Just let her spurg out. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, it's cute. It's endearing. Trying to get attention.
My wife doesn't post to Facebook, so you don't know who my wife is. Well, you might, but so Ava can pull some. Does she? I actually don't watch my wife's Facebook. I'm not on Facebook very much.
That's weird, though.
I don't know. Ava should probably get a lot of views. She posts in her underwear half the time. So I mean,
oh, you know the person? Do they have a channel?
She was on here once before. I had Glenn and Pearl on, and she was wanting to be on whatever. And she did go on whatever, and it was totally lackluster. And she,
Oh, it's that cloud chaser that knows the Thorpes.
yes, yeah,
Oh, that makes sense. That
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. That's the one.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm easy to find, Ava. So, which meme, Arakar Oak? I've got the memes. Which one? I'm not sure what you were talking about, Ava. Let me go back. Yeah, I don't have anything to hide, dummy. You do. Nobody knows who Ava the G is except the Thorpes. Didn't you get no, whatever. Yeah, you can. I'm easy to find.
why would you call yourself a G?
What was she asking me?
No, it's just stupid shit. Doesn't even matter. Derailing.
My wife is a feminist banker. My wife's not a feminist, but she is feminine. My wife is definitely a banker. She's an investment banker, though. She's not feminist, but that's fine. I'll have to go look at her Facebook now. So, yeah.
Oh no, don't let Ava up your grid. I'm in a mood. I will
You're in a
fucking write
mood?
somebody.
All right. I mean,
Yeah.
I normally don't really care.
Yeah, no, people know when I get in a mood. I don't want to have that on your channel. I'm gonna light her ass up. It's gonna turn into fucking chaotic truth channel up here. So rather not.
Yeah, I don't know. Uh-oh, Patriots in.
Yeah, he's not gonna like none of this going on.
So
Go play with the thoughts. Fuck off. We were having constructive conversation.
I didn't do a video with the guy the other day. Which video was it that I did with a guy saying wives shouldn't work? By the way, I can have opposing views of my guest. I've never made a secret about that, Ava. What are you talking about? Banner for John. I'll leave it up to the mods. I don't care. You guys can do whatever you want, but check my Discord. There's my Discord. Oh, there we go. Got it. Oh yeah. That's funny. I like that one. I'll put that up in a minute, Emmett. That's pretty funny. I nod all the time, Ava. You're trying to read shit in there? What are you trying to say?
Bro, sometimes I don't even pay attention and I just nod and say yeah. Because I don't care. I bet you Grid does the same.
I'm becoming your lolcow. Yeah. Somebody needs some attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sad thing is somebody with a channel wanting attention in another person's chat.
You know what's really funny is she's like watching me for what? What's up, Clover Tech? I see you there. While I've got Clover Tech here, I'm doing the thing for Keita and Steve Anderson the other to be on Thursday night. Clover, are you going to be around? If I wanted attention, you would go live. Well, maybe you should. Maybe you should. I don't know. Oh, she wants to try and swat me? Yeah, good luck with that. I did actually see the other day that somebody got swatted on I think I saw it on Not Instagram. The fuck was that? And some influencer got swatted, and it was some woman home alone with her kids. So why don't I keep myself in shape? I'm losing weight, Ava. How about you? Are you losing weight?
It's all going to the FUPA grid on that one.
What?
It's all going to the FUPA on that one,
Oh,
I
the
bet.
fupa? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
You're not trolling anybody, Ava. You're saying shit from the chat. Lawrence, Glenn is in. Glenn is helping RP Thor right now, who has a brain. Well, he doesn't anymore. He had a brain tumor. They had an operation. They took it out. He was fine. It grew back. They apparently didn't get it all, or maybe I don't know what happened. Anyway, it grew back. They had a second operation. The second operation, because they had, pardon me, because they had to go in so deep and so far, he's lost a lot of cognitive abilities. It's going to be, I believe, it's 7 or 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, Clover. But anyway, so Glenn's been, and you guys probably don't know this. RP Thor's wife was in a really bad car accident, and she has to use like a walker to get around. She needs constant care, a lot of pain, a lot of medications. And Thor's been doing that, and now he needs that. So Glenn basically abandoned his life to go help his friend out. And
That's pretty cool. That's good on him.
Yeah. Ava the G, let me read this. Hang on. Seriously, how are you cool with your wife being a corporate banker? My wife can do whatever she wants to do. Who posts about women and diversity. But my wife was actually in charge of the diversity kind of panel for a while on at her company, and she did a very good job of it. I think that she pulled it back from the exceedingly feminist area that it was going into, and was kind of kept it straight. There was a woman there. You probably don't know this, Ava. I'm assuming that you don't read much, but there was a book actually put out on by a former employee that was called Bully Market. You should probably go read it. And in that book, this woman alleges a lot of very interesting things, ways that she was mistreated. And it's really a stupid book. She talks about how, I mean, this woman was making like $1 million a year and was mad that she didn't get enough days off and shit. You know, it was like really funny. But at any rate, so yeah. So my wife has been trying to fix that. So yeah, that's true, but that's okay. And my wife's awesome. I don't understand if you want to talk about my wife is awesome. My wife came here. She worked hard before we were married. You know, she got an education. I didn't pay for her. Well, I paid for some of her education. But you know, she already had a degree when we got married. You guys don't understand. So
good is like the Furby. You mustn't give it attention.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
what makes it happy.
It's like Furby. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so RP Thor and Glenn hasn't been on because he's been helping RP Thor, and even when he's on, he's so distracted by what's going on. His shows are just not, he can't really get into his show. So,
Yeah.
it's I don't know, man. It's tough, man. It's been tough because I'm used to seeing Glenn on, being
Yeah.
able to give him a call and say, "Hey, man, what's up?"
Now
The
he's just busy.
sorry.
Now he's just busy with that
Yeah,
whole
now it's like
situation.
you talk to him, and he's he can get a few words out, and then he's got to go help Thor. He's got to go do something, and good on him, man. I mean, it's amazing that there's not a lot of people would do what he's doing, right? And
Yeah, helping out a
I
brother in need.
understand. I understand that. I mean, I've done that. I've helped people out. I've given up parts of my life to help other people out, and so I get it. I understand it. And I 100% know where he's at right now. And it's, for like, I mean, I think anybody that throws shade at Glenn right now is absolutely fucking hideous and detestable. Like, that is really bad because he has literally given up his life to go do what he's supposed to do. And that's where Glenn's been. So, the Ava, I'll look at it. I don't know what my wife posts on Facebook because I don't go to Facebook. So
Yeah. But good on Glenn for doing that for a brother in need.
yeah,
That's
so I was specifically asked about where Glenn Lawrence is and
Yeah.
by Lawrence R. And so Lawrence, I hope that's answered your question. If not, it's.
So tell me, Grid, when is this debate happening with the Papa stuff? Is that tonight?
Yeah, that's tonight. It's their normal Monday night debate. So
Okay.
yeah.
Is that the only prompt, or is it like last time when they have multiples?
Well, I mean, they're going to do like an open. They'll do like an open topic to start, and I will come in on that, and the entire time that they're usually open topic doesn't really interest me, so I just set up my audio, make sure everything's really good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it makes sense.
all Ava found out is that everything I said is accurate. Like I am exactly who I say I am. That's all she found out. Any idiot can, if you can't, matter of fact, if you can't find me in a 2-second Google search, you're a complete fucking moron anyway. So
Doesn't that just mean you're successful, Grid?
yeah,
I don't get the point. Yeah, what's the fucking point? It's like, oh, you can find
call me a
Andrew Tate
grifter.
with one
I
Google.
literally refer to what I do as grifting. I literally tell people to not send me money if they can't afford it. I mean, this is very interesting because I'm one of the, I tell people that what is my normal speech? This show's entirely supported by my wallet. At some point, it has to make sense. If it does, if I can't make money doing it, I have a lot of things that I do that make money. And, so I'll just have to spend more time on that if this can't make at least some money, which is why I encourage the super chats and all that. So, it's an interesting thing.
I like what Andrew's done, and he's embraced the title of grifter.
I kind of have too, because it is
Yeah.
great for me, right? Like I don't actually need the money, but again, these hours that I take doing this show, the hours that I spend are hours I could spend doing other things and making more
Yeah.
money.
Exactly.
And so you get paid for your time, right? Why shouldn't I get paid for my time?
Exactly.
So, but again, I don't demand payment, right? Like I don't say, hey, fuckers, pay me $100. I don't do that. I don't think I've ever done that. So, it's, it is what it is. Unfortunately for Ava is, like there's no gotchas. If the best you can say is my wife has posted something feminist, great. My wife is a woman. I've never said my wife was not the most feminine. I have not said my wife is the most conservative person ever. My wife is conservative, but not as maybe not as conservative as some others could be.
Well, yeah, I also don't know the point, right? Because even Rachel Wilson has mentioned that she suffered from it just because of the era she grew up in, right? You kind of have to
Well,
work really hard to
there's
take
also
all of
there's a
that out.
dynamic there too, right? Like my wife is in corporate America, so there are things
Exactly.
that there are ways that she has to structure things and look at things.
Good evening, Clover Tack, my good sir.
What up, Strange? What up, Creed? Hey, so
What's up, man? Yeah, sorry, I couldn't see your responses. There was the chat started moving too. I stopped paying attention to the chat.
So yeah, just about as quick as I started, I had to walk away for a minute. So I don't know what your fucking answer was if you answered any of it anyway. But what you said it was Thursday?
Yeah, so it's Thursday at 8.
Okay.
I'm getting the thumbnails and everything
That's
ready
fine.
now.
What do you need me to do? Just hang or what?
Well, I just assumed. I wondered if you were going to be in the audience. It may be, that you may be able to come up. I don't know that we're going to do guests. I don't know how the show's going to roll.
Okay.
I'm not really, I'm only familiar with Keita. I'm not familiar with Steve Anderson at all.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not either.
And they may bring their daughter, or not their daughter. She may bring her daughter on, who is in high school. So it would have to be I can't do the 18 up thing. But her daughter is really cool because her daughter actually fought her school board.
What do you mean 18 up thing? What?
Well, I normally make my shows 18 up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, if a parent's there, I mean.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a gray area. I don't.
Sure she understands. I mean, there's a difference between. So there's a difference between what the chat is saying because they can ignore the chat. They don't have to look at any vulgarity, craziness that's going on out there. You just have to control the panel in the room, so that it's more kid friendly or family friendly or whatever. Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've got. It is. I do everything 18 over. I should probably not because most of the stuff, even though we're cursing, isn't necessarily over 18 talk.
No, I mean, cursing will still fall. I mean, some of it's PG-13, 16.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm more PG-13 than.
Well, there's really no such thing as 18 and over. There is either it is made for kids or is not made for kids. Right?
Yes.
And yours is not made for kids. Right? Like it's not, that's all it is. It's not adult only. So that's the distinction is when you dress up in little costumes and hop around and sing cute songs to try to get a kid audience. That's what that flag means. It doesn't mean that kids can't watch your stuff, right? Like I've got the firearm content. Well, I spent 20 years teaching and training kids to shoot.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's they're gonna watch that stuff. That's fine, but I don't make it specifically for the kids, and that's the delineation. So when you flip that switch, that's the way you got to think. Am I making this specifically for kids? And the answer for the vast majority of channels to that is no.
Well, Clover, YouTube kind of just does that to protect their asses, right? You do either this category, and everything that we don't want to deal with is in the one, and everything that's safe in the other one.
And they'll go back and flip it anyway, right? Like they'll age restrict, like an age restriction that is something they put on it. So they can go back and they can go, okay, wait, they said that, this wasn't made for kids, but we don't think kids need to be watching this. And then they'll put an age restriction flag on it themselves. So
yeah, Grid, I see Ghost says I'm actually 10 years old, but actually Ghost, the correct thing is I'm 15 3/4. So my quinceañera is coming up soon. I'm just picking out my right dress that I want to wear,
I feel like that in South African years, you probably are.
But I've got so Thursday I've got to record a podcast.
Sure.
At like 3 or 4, but I only go for an hour roughly, so we should be good.
Yeah, so I just thought that it would be cool, if you wanted to come up, if we do guess. Kita's daughter, back during the unpleasantness, ended up fighting the school board over some
Coons things.
No, C-19 issues.
Oh.
And winning. She won. And she's been to Washington now. I think she's spoken in front of some different organizations. So she's really cool. Excellent. And I think we're going to have her on as well. I'm not really sure. I think so, but it'll be.
I mean, Grit, like Clover says, worst case, you could say, you're doing a bit of a more PG episode, keep the panel tight and people, or just don't let anybody else on except you guys. And then you just tell mods, ramp it up in chat. If anybody.
Yeah. I think that's what I'll end up doing. Thursday, we'll probably just tell the mods to, like a little cursing's fine, but, we can't have people spurging out in chat.
The biggest thing that happens in the chat,
I don't normally have. Honestly, the Ava thing is like as close to someone spurging out.
I find that most of the chat, most of the times, the guest is not paying attention to. If you bring somebody in as a legit guest, there's a difference. I do this shit. Chris does this shit. Other people that jump in, they do this shit, right? So that's a different thing when you have somebody like that. When you bring somebody from like the community, the outside world, that's not a podcaster, not a live streamer, not a content creator, whatever, that's kind of outside the fold. Like they're not even paying attention to the chat. They don't have it up. They're not paying attention. They're not watching it any fucking way. So that's what I said. As long as you don't indulge the chat with the crazy shit or whatever. Now you can hand down whatever kind of edict to your mods you want to hand down. Sure. That's fine. But I found that it's not a problem. Like I did for like 2 years. I did a podcast that was every Wednesday that I actually had youth competition shooters on the podcast. So, and that's the kind of the way I worked it is if there was questions that was related to the topic and, that sort of thing, sure, I would read those and we would, engage and do things. But if anybody was out there, acting a fool, I didn't even acknowledge they were out there.
That's true. I like all of it. I like all of it. Go ahead.
No, Grit. No, Clover's right. I mean, you also know it's quite a skill that needs to be learned. To be able to talk on a panel and focus on chat takes some time to get used to. Normal people won't even be able to do that. And you can even ask them to possibly just close it.
So I'm not really. I don't know how familiar you are, Clover, with Kita, and I know the chat's not familiar with her at all. But while she is a competitive shooter, she's not like somebody that goes out and wins the worlds or something. She's like mid-level, probably, maybe a little higher.
That's fine.
But what she does is she teaches movement and training and stage breakdown and things that help people like me move faster through a stage and improve our times and therefore improve our scores. And and she spent the last few years doing it. So she's, as a guest, I think she's going to be really good because she can talk to about a lot of different things. She's also been very politically active in the 2A community. She's written at least one book, maybe two, it's an interesting, I think it's going to be a really interesting special show. And I'd really so I was trying to get Max Leograndis to come on. So if you guys don't know, Max Leograndis has taken on the mantle of being not just a match director, but he owns an organization that puts on matches called a sanctioning body called PCSL, Practical Shooting Practical Shooting Competition League, and it's a it's very flexible. It's like USPSA, but it's very heavily rifle oriented. It's like 3-gun, but rifle is scored on a hit factor scoring out to, I think, 100 yards. So there's a, it's a very, I think it's a really great organization. I've been trying to get Max on here for a while. I go back a little ways with Max, and he's a really cool dude. And he wins like a ridiculous amount, and mostly shoots PCC now, but he'll do anything. And very, he's I've been trying to get him on forever, and he'll like commit, and then he just doesn't have, like most people who are trying to build something, he just doesn't have 2 to 3 hours to commit anytime. Like he just doesn't have it. So, but there's a lot of people I'd really like to get to come on the show from the shooting community and the competitive community. Dakota Overland, who is graduating, I think from she's graduating from West Point, I think this year. She's been to the Worlds a few times, represented the United States in the Worlds.
Nice.
And she is just an impressive young shooter who is now in the military. She graduates this year, I think. And I've known her since she was like 13, like shooting and just beating the crap out of people. And it's I like this. I would love to do more shooting type content with the people I know and the contacts I have. So, yeah.
I see. That could be interesting.
Yeah, and these are people that don't normally come on the podcast. They're not gun tubers in the typical sense. You'll see their videos on you'll see their videos on like whatever
they'll post to their social media,
Instagram,
their Facebook page, or their
it's just they'll just put social media.
But it's more of a it's a lot more like business advertising or something oriented.
Yeah, it's all sponsorship stuff with them. I would really like to get. I tell you and I'm going to reach out to him and see if he'll come on and just talk. There are 2 guys I really want to get on. One is this guy, Bill. I'm not going to say his last name, but because I don't know that he wants to be known, but it's got Bill. At 52, he walked into a a gym. Like fuck do you call them? A CrossFit gym.
Yeah.
Fat, overweight, out of shape. Couldn't, he'd been a tech guy he'd been a cop, and then he was a tech guy and a stockbroker for years. And so he was just like really out of shape. And he started doing CrossFit, and then he started competitive shooting, and now he shoots in the tactical games which are ridiculous. It's like Tough Mudder racing, but with guns and shooting involved. And he does those. Super cool dude. Just like super based. He teaches people how to trade stocks and securities. And he is he's just ridiculously cool. And he's probably like 60, 65 right now. And that dude is cut. I mean,
jacked.
I mean, straight jacked. He
nice.
is. He outruns dudes half his age, literally half his age, a third of his age sometimes. And so he's like kind of an inspiration for me, actually, because I got hurt and then I got really out of shape, and now I'm trying to come back. And and he's from Texas, actually. And then the other guy that I'd really like to get on is also in Texas right now, and his name is Sergeant James Gill. And Sergeant Gill is a Marine, and he got blown up, and he lost a leg and an eye. And he wins the tactical games competitions regularly. Like, this guy has one fucking eye.
Damn.
One leg.
So he doesn't have to block the eye to look down the scope.
Right.
I guess. Yeah, he doesn't have to worry about the strong eye thing.
It's quicker side acquisition that way. Right?
Yeah. You
Dude
know,
is a beast. He is a straight beast. I remember I was at a match in Texas one time, and I was having trouble with my rifle, and the gas block was jacked up or something. I don't know what it was. And I tried all day to fix this thing, and I just couldn't do it. And I went and bought parts, and I still couldn't do it. And he loaned me his rifle and his ammo and the dope for the rifle. And like I was hitting out like normally. I mean, I hit out to 600 yards. That's not a big problem. But to pick up somebody else's gun and just pick it up and put it on the target and hit a 600-yard shot is pretty cool. It's even better when I knew that I could do it, because he literally said, this is what your hold is going to be. This is what, this is what's going to happen. And so I shot his gun the rest of the day. I was on the clock. It was really cool. And he didn't have to do, and he gave me the ammo too. Like, I was like, no, I've got ammo, and I've got dope for this ammo. He's like, no, I have dope for this gun, this ammo, even at this range. Like, I have all the wind charts and everything. He's like, I promise you, just do what I tell you to do. And then he came up, and keep in mind, dude's got a carbon fiber leg. He comes up and is sitting there spotting for me during while I'm shooting. He's literally calling, hey, your left, right, high left, high center, whatever. Wherever I was, when I would miss, he would make my call for me, and then feed me the correct call. Like, he would be like, high left, down 1 mil. And he was on the money, dude, like on the money. And so I respect that guy. That dude's one of my actual.
That's awesome. This discussion makes me sad I stopped competitive shooting.
Yeah. Seth Spence, do I actually like the AR setup? Yeah. Which type of scope? The one on the bottom, that's an AR-10, and it's meant for long range. So I like that. I like that specific scope on that gun a lot, because I never shoot under like 10 yards with it. So, and then the other AR, that's a standard AR. I mean, it's not standard, but it's close to standard. That's just a standard, like 223. I shoot it out to 600. When I say I'm shooting these during competition, these are all 5.56 standard ARs. I mean, they're not standard, but
what optic are you running on the 15?
This one,
yes,
that's a Night Force 1:8.
What, an LPVO?
Yeah, LPVO. Yeah, all LPVOs. Yeah, I do all. Yeah, that's a Night Force 1:8 on the standard AR. That's which one is that? So that is a Gibbs side charging upper with which barrel is that? That's a Ballistic Advantage fluted barrel, Ultratech Model S. No, Apollo. Ultratech Apollo brake. A lot of really cool shit.
AR is the platform, but an AR-10 is a different platform than an AR-15.
Yeah, like completely.
And there's actually two
three of those
versions. Yeah, right. There's multiple versions of the 10.
Yeah, there's 3 versions of the AR-10 platform. There's the
Armorlight, DPMS, and third one escapes me.
DPMS 2.
Well, yeah.
Which everybody forgets about.
Yep.
And you can't buy parts for at all.
Yeah, proprietary, basically.
Yeah, and they don't. I don't know they even sell them. Yeah, the AR-10. That AR-10's chambered. Which barrel's on that? That one's actually chambered in 308. It's normally got a 6.5 Creedmoor barrel on it, but that's an AR-10 right there. That one's actually chambered in 308.
Nice.
In 308. But I mean, I have ARs in 223, 300 blackout, 6.5 arc, 6.5 Grendel. Oh no, 6mm arc, 6.5 Grendel, 6mm AR, 223 or 224 Valkyrie. What else? I got another. There's at least two more. I don't have any of the big ones yet. I don't have many more. I don't have 350 Bushmaster or Wilson Combat, whatever the 300 Wilson Combat was, like 350, 355, whatever it was. I don't have that right now. I don't have that anymore, and I don't have a 455 or 450 Bushmaster. I don't have either of those. I should.
Or a 458, or a 5, or a 50.
Yeah, I don't have a 458 SOCOM either.
50 Bayo.
Nope, no Beowulf. Mm-mm.
Have you seen the 450 Legend?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a new one. That's interesting.
That's pretty new. I haven't seen any barrels for. I've seen the cartridges. I haven't seen any barrels.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. It's so new.
Yeah. The question is always, the question is always, what am I going to do with it, and is there a barrel available?
Mm-hmm. Barrel makes all the difference in the world. We were talking about on a show the other night. Got into a like a blackout conversation, 300 blackout conversation, and I was saying I've got an 8.5-inch Schillen match barrel, in an SBR that I with 110, 115 grain, I'm lights out at 2 and 250 easily out of an 8.5-inch barrel. And they're like, "What the hell?" I'm like, I'm telling you, the barrel makes all the difference in the world. Like optimally, you would want probably like a 10-inch plus in any type of a lesser barrel, but because that is a match grade barrel, it makes up for the difference in barrel length.
Yeah, so I in general, so I have a 16-inch 300 blackout match barrel, and at like 200 yards, it rings steel just fine. And I've shot it out further than that, but once you get out past, pardon me, once you get out past 300 yards, that's about where it starts going transonic. And
it gets, to me, 300. I mean, I think of 300 blackout range somewhere very similar to 7.62-39.
Yeah, I agree with that. And so now 5.56, I shoot it out. I mean, I literally shoot out 600 yards, but when I do the but like I have 55 grain that I'll shoot out to about 400, 410. And when I say I'm shooting out that far, I mean that I can hit an IPSC BC zone target, right? Like, which is what, 12 by 18, something like that.
Yeah. Chairman says 300 yards is a lot of mowing. I don't know very many people that mow their 300 yards unless they're in a place where the grass and stuff gets tall enough you can't shoot over it. But for me, I just shoot over it. Yeah, and even then I'm running the tractor. Yeah, it don't take but a minute.
Yeah.
But anything out past about 400, I go to, and that's just a standard 55 grain. Now I say standard. I use generically. I use a Full Metal Jacket boat point boat tail, pardon me, for all of my normal projectiles in 5.56. I found that flat base after 200 yards start yawing or something, and they get really inaccurate after about 200 yards.
Yeah, you got to go boat tail. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but out to about 600, so 400 to 600, I'm using a 75 grain or a 73. I like to use 73 grain ELDs, but
do you go cantilever or no?
I believe my heavy ones are all non-cannular.
Yeah.
I don't care for the 55 grain cannular, no cannular, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Right.
So
yeah.
But and I used to use for close in shots where accuracy was less of a factor. I used to use 35 grain varmint bullets.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The problem is they go too fast, and
Mm-hmm.
so the only time I know that I put a hole in steel with a 5.56 was with a 35 grain varmint.
Yeah, when you're shooting 35, you're down low enough that the twist rate's going to make a difference. So, like if you're, you typically are going to see an AR's 1 in 8, 1 in 9 is, it's the vast majority of what you see. And for like a 35 grain, you need like a 1 in 12 or some shit.
Right.
Really.
Yeah. Well, they'll come apart. But the problem is that a 35 grain, like this, I think the slowest I was ever able to load it was still like 3,200 feet per second.
Right.
And that you can't, in theory, you can go below that, but at that point you start getting, you have massive deviations because there's so little powder in the case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you either have to use like a cotton wadding or something like that to keep the powder consistent, which I don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
Otherwise it messes up your grouping, huh?
Yeah. Your standard deviations where all the accuracy is.
Well, you'll get even worse is if you've got a volume inside that case where the powder is not filling it up, right? And you don't want to compress that load either. In other words, you don't want to push that projectile into the case and compress the powder. Well, there are compressed loads, but generally speaking, compressed loads, you start getting into problems, right? I'm just saying that we're talking about the opposite, right? We're talking about not enough powder to fill it. What can happen is obviously that cartridge is sitting horizontal when it fires, and what'll happen is you'll get cross burn, right? And cross burn can be just as bad pressure wise and blow things up as being overcharged, because instead of the powder running linear to the barrel, the explosion happens up and down, right? It stresses the chamber.
Yeah, no, that's very accurate. A lot of people don't know that.
That's why you want to wad it if you're running a lighter load. That's why you want the wadding in there, is to take up that space. So don't do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I had, for example, I don't like to give out exact grain weights, but my 73 grain ELD over 800 XBR powder, right?
I like 800 XBR.
Yeah, you can't get any more. It's like unobtainium, but it was the most amazingly consistent powder.
Well, a lot of powders are that way nowadays, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I had a guy come in the gun shop the other day looking for Herco. You believe that?
No, I don't believe that. I think you made that up.
Yeah,
nobody even remembers what Herco is.
Good luck with that, buddy.
So I was a full grain above the maximum recommended.
Yeah, so running compressed.
Yeah, full grain. And it was still, there were no pressure signs. It was such an amazing powder.
Yeah.
And it's so consistent. Like I gave my son my rifle, and he hit like a 500-yard shot, just one shot at it. And the ammo was just so good that you didn't really have to understand. You didn't have to do a lot of on the clock. You didn't have to do a bunch of like calculations in your head. You just put the dot on it, pull trigger.
Now, X3 out there was asking about 300 blackout and like AP and like short range AP. No, I mean 300 blackout was a wildcat from way back in the day.
300 whisper. I had a 300
even before that, basically a variation of the 221 Fireball, but it was all commercial, whatever, consumer wildcatted. There never was any AP anything around blackout, and it's more for two reasons. Number one is suppressed fire, and then number two is versatility of projectiles, because it uses that 308 and because it can run lighter or heavier. You can run, I mean, I've ran 300 blackouts as low as 90 grain projectiles and as high as 160, 165 grain. So
you must have been running those 90s in a bolt action.
No, I can cycle. I can cycle through a couple of the rifles I have. If you got the gas system and other things right, and you can write powders, you can do it. 1680.
I couldn't get 115s to load. I couldn't.
1680s is a miracle powder, man. I'm telling you, 1680 is some
with 115 grain varmint bullets. I couldn't get them to load long enough to reliably feed in an AR pattern. They were all too short.
Well, what mags are you running? P mags or steel or P mags? Yeah. See, I don't run P mags in my alternative AR calibers, most of them, and the reason why is that front lip. If you'll ever look at the front edge of a P mag, and at least I think this was 10 years ago, maybe they corrected the issue. I don't know, or maybe it's more than 10 years ago. But along the inside of the front of that mag, you'll notice that it's not a flat, clean edge, and you get all kind of weird feed issues with alternative calibers because of that. And once I went to Lancers, like I don't have any
Lancers
issues.
Are great mags.
Yeah, I don't have any issues, man. If I run Lancers on my alternative caliber,
I've heard the same thing with HKS mags. I just don't want to pay $100 a mag for an AR mag.
Right. Lancers aren't that bad.
No, Lancers are okay. I didn't Troy mags. I don't know if I tried the Troy mags. And now I only use Troy mags for 300 blackout, so I don't accidentally grab a 300 blackout mag and put it in.
Well, that's another reason I use for my alternative cartridges. I use Lancers. It's easy to say, hey, this definitely.
Yeah, the minute you pick it up, you know it's different. Even in the dark, you just know it's fucking different.
Yeah, and it feels different. It's blockier. Lancer is blockier than and it doesn't have the vertical ridges that a steel mag or a Milcert mag would have. So yeah, even blinded, you would know the difference.
Yeah, I shoot my most popular the load I shoot the most in 300 blackout is a 125 grain Spear TNT hollow point varmint bullet.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now that if you shoot a deer, if you shoot any thin-skinned animal with that round, it's down right then. It's maximum transfer of energy. Like I tried the soft points, and they have nothing on this 125 grain varmint bullet. I mean, it is insane.
Right.
How effective it is.
I typically in the lighter,
and I do load that supersonic.
Oh hell yeah, yeah.
I barely load any 300 blackout subsonic anymore.
There's some people, way back in the day when it was kind of deemed it was a little bit of difference in the measurements from the Whisper, but anyway, to adapt it for the AR platform, and this was in the early 2000s or something. Everybody was trying to run 208 grain subsonics, and man, you really had to get the gas system right, the buffer, and everything just the stars had to almost align. And I like a lot of people, I've come up with a lot of stuff for 300 blackout, but I didn't come up with this. But people figured out if you bump to a 220, it was pretty easy at that point, a 220 grain. And so I ran 220s for the longest, and then realized that there's some 230 or 235s. I have to go through my cabinet and look. And then if you want to go hard cast, or even better, cast your own and powder coat, man, you can get the bullet weights up into, like I said, the 260, 265 range.
Yeah.
And those are just, and you're running subsonic, but oh my God, you're chunking a 265 grain piece of lead. And if you want a lot of fun, I've actually ran shoot houses with steel targets with my 265 grain subsonics. And oh my God, that is fun because I've got all the target angles set up right. I'm running subsonic, so I'm not overpowered or anything like that. And the ricochet it goes like straight into the ground, so you can shoot those steel targets at literally a couple of yards max, and it's super loud because it hits like a hammer. And it's so much fun kicking doors and turning corners and putting 2 rounds on a piece of steel, and just so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, getting into the gun prattle pretty hardcore here, but
yeah, I wanted to ask Clover something, Grid.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Clover, am I correct? Is tomorrow St. Patty's Day?
Today.
Today.
Maybe tomorrow for you. No, you're today, aren't you?
Yeah,
today.
They don't have St. Patty's Day there.
Oh, yeah, I'm in the future.
Yeah, the 17th is St. Patty's Day. So.
Yeah, that's today for me.
Yeah, it's today for here too.
Oh, nice. Congrats. Well, I had to because of the clover, right?
Yeah.
The mighty clover attack. Let's go. Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's a thing that's bigger in obviously in the States and there than it is here by us.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have many Irish over here.
Right. I'm sure there's some. Gotta be. Right?
Yeah, there's gotta be at least 2, some. Right?
Yeah, I'm sure there's like at least a handful.
I'm sure years and years ago the French Foreign Legion shanghaied some at least, had to have.
No, for sure. For sure. Also, Grid, I wanted to ask, do you know what the hell happened in the States? I see you guys kicked out our ambassador from the country.
Did we?
Yeah, I'm seeing now in the news. I was scrolling through and I saw the news now. It says Trump kicked out the South African ambassador to United States.
Well, I heard he was replacing him with you. That's what I heard.
Fuck, I'd take the job. I think I might lack a bit of melanin for the job, though, Clover.
You think?
Yeah, but I don't think I'm DI qualified.
I don't think Trump gives a shit about any of that, but I hear you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. I think he said some shit about Trump. That's why he got kicked out.
Yeah. Trump's been like hammering it lately.
I mean, I think that's a good thing.
I do too.
That's a good thing. People want to talk shit. He just tells them, fucking go back to your country. And now that dude, I'm pretty sure he's fucking sad about it.
Yeah. That's true. That is true.
I wonder, so Grid, what time is your debate tonight?
Would be at 8 my time. It is currently, just to give you a point of reference. Let me get to a window that'll show me. It is
that'll be in like 4 hours.
Yeah, like 4 hours. Yeah, 2:39 right now. So okay. I will fire up my show probably around 7. I actually have to run into Nashville, which I hate doing, and I've got to pick up my son, and which I don't mind doing. And yeah. So I had to send my wife a message to see if she had posted feminist stuff on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, I don't think so. So that's a bold claim that what's her name made. I
think that Spurgey was just trying to go through.
TTS. Nope, new subscriber. Who is the new subscriber? Republic Room or something like that. Can't read it. Republic Room just subscribed. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing.
Let's go.
So, yeah, I think you probably have to go back a few years, and that would be weird if you're stalking somebody that bad. It would be weird.
But I think it just trolls trolling, you know.
Yeah, well, they don't have anything better to do, so they're losers.
It's always, it makes me a little bit sad. I'm like, oh man, your life must suck.
Yeah.
You got nothing better to do than troll people in their chats, try and get responses for attention, you know.
Yeah, well, it's a sad existence, but yeah, whatever.
You know, the world needs cockroaches too, Grid.
Yeah, probably recording this stream. I wish them luck mining or whatever they're going to do. Anyway, yeah, so back to the actual subject. I'm trying to bring people in that I know personally from in the shooting in the competitive shooting community, mostly in 3-gun, obviously. I mean, years ago, if I had done this years ago, I could have gotten Daniel Horner on, and like he's awesome, and I could have gotten a bunch of people on. But I hadn't seen those guys in a couple of years since I hurt myself, so gotta get back out there. Maybe I'll do more traveling next year, and we'll do it. So,
oh yeah, we need Grid one on whatever podcast.
Charles Darwin somehow slipped in here. That Aussie, look at that guy just slipping right in here, quiet, sleeping while we're sleeping, while we're talking, just slips right in. Shifty. He's a shifty guy. So I'm going to close out with. I'm going to let Chris nerd out a little bit. Have you been watching the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan on Amazon?
No, Grid. You guys have too much going on in your politics, and I don't know about none of that. So I have to keep staying updated with what the hell America's doing. So I don't get to watch a lot of like TV or movies no more. It's actually sad.
Great sci-fi series, fantasy.
Yeah.
Kind of like
is it a remake?
If Lord of the Rings was like even cooler, that'd be what Wheel of Time is,
and
longer, much longer. So
that's blasphemy, Greg.
I'm sorry, blasphemy.
That's blasphemy. Saying it's cooler than Lord of the Rings.
So the you got to watch it, man. It's great. I don't know what nights they I think they were release like 3 episodes a week or every couple of weeks or some crap like that. And so I just watched the first 3 episodes to the 3rd season, and it's awesome. It's epic. I really like it. Really enjoy it. I read those books when I was in college, like 25 years ago.
Where's that on? On what are you watching?
Amazon. It's on Amazon.
Oh, shit.
Maybe only American Amazon, though. They may not let South Africa have it. You may need to do a VPN for like Ohio or something and get it.
Right.
Yeah, probably. Fuck.
Yeah. When I was in China at the time, and this was years ago, this was probably 15 years ago, I remember I couldn't get on and I couldn't log into a bunch of the forums that I normally visit.
Yeah.
And I ended up having to do a VPN from like I tried one from New Zealand and that didn't work, and then I did a VPN from like Ohio or somewhere like that, and that got me back in to where I could.
Shit, but wasn't it at that time already that because isn't it illegal to use VPNs over there?
Probably is now for sure. Well, because they banned YouTube. Once they banned YouTube, they made a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, YouTube's gone.
That's sad.
That still chaps Google's ass. I'm sure.
I'm sure the revenue, huh?
Like the revenue alone, man. I mean, there's billions of people, and they're like, "Fuck, what do we do? What do we ever do to you except be leftist schmucks?" Well,
they've got way too much at stake now with TikTok, right? So
yeah. Well, Google will buy TikTok, so at some point. So it's going to be interesting.
That's crazy. I mean, that's so many people. That's such a big continent or country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
guys. Let's. I got to wrap this up. My wife is texting me that I need to. I need to head to Nashville with her, and so that's going to require me changing out of my nice shirt into a regular shirt.
are you guys gonna go do feminist things, Grid?
No, I'm going to go lift heavy objects into my truck.
Let's
And
go.
so she needs me to drive the truck because she
No,
can't, because she's not a
you see, exactly, Grid. Yeah, hell yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
The
Well,
women are
you know,
naturally superior. So I'm chairman of the board. My wife is Chinese, so I cannot argue with you because she'll watch this and be like, "What did you say?" So I have to agree with you that their women are naturally superior in every way.
you see, and Grid needs to go help his wife that is totally not a feminist because she needs him to drive a truck. So
Yeah,
there it goes. The claim
she doesn't drive
disputed.
a truck. She's a
Yeah,
woman.
claim disputed.
She's a woman. What's interesting is that all of the information on my wife's Facebook, I think, is outdated. I could be wrong because I haven't looked at it in a long time. The last time I looked at it, it was like 3 years out of date. Like everything was at 3 years out of date. Like the
Yeah.
company that it said, like I think I think I laughed at her about it because the company that she says she works for doesn't even exist anymore. So that's not who she works for, obviously. But whatever. So yeah. All right. What's your outro there, Chris Lestrange? Tell us where we can find you, what you're doing, the next cool thing you're doing other than hanging out with me. And
I don't know if it's that. It's cool to me, Grid. I'm gonna see my mom and my grandmother probably
your
first
mom was
time
in the
in
chat
2
earlier. I
years.
saw your mom in the chat.
Oh shit! Yeah, I heard you came on your show, Grid.
Yeah, she's been
That
on.
was funny.
Why is that funny?
No,
You should come
I
on.
just didn't. Yeah, I just didn't know it happened. Obviously, so I had a bit of a chuckle when she told me.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, no. So I'm gonna see her and my grandma for
Mm-hmm.
first time probably in 2 years, and go to my cousin's wedding. So I'm not gonna be streaming this week. So
Oh, okay. That's terrible.
yeah, so not. Yeah, no, it's fine. But yeah, so now I'm gonna have a bit of family time,
Well, you can
and
get on your mom's computer and come on, and you can come on this show, and you can stream, and you can we'll do a co-show or whatever.
well, man. I mean, I'll shoot the shit, but
a collab.
yeah, no, for sure. I mean, but I wanna, I told her as well. I don't wanna fuck with the little bit of time we have, So I'd rather spend time and go see everybody, go back to my hometown I grew up in, not
Yeah.
waste time on the internet, take a bit of a break for the week. And then if anybody's interested, just Chris Lestrange, same as the name on screen. You type that in, you'll find me.
Yeah, go watch Chris. He's funny. He's pretty hilarious.
Only on weekends.
And his nerd night collabs with VO Potter are pretty cool. I actually went on one. It was awesome. It was a good time.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was nice having Jake on Sunday. Well, yesterday. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
And Jake's the next time Jake debates, I think I'm gonna moderate for him because
Nice.
he should have won that debate. Well, he did win that debate with Fatty. So that was absolutely terrible that it is viewed that he lost that debate because he won it hands down. And so if you guys ever need debates moderated fairly and unbiased, you want an unbiased, fair moderator, and Andrew is Andrew would be my first choice. If he's too busy, let me know. I'm a reasonable moderator. I do a good job at it. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool like that. We talked a lot about that the other day. I'm not going to put the chat back through it. Clover Tech, give us that outro, brother.
All right. I'm gonna have Mikey Ball on the podcast at 6 Central today. So
Nice.
that should be fun.
Nice.
The legendary Mike Ball. Let's go, Grid.
Legend.
Legend. Nice, Clover.
Legend.
Yeah, that's all I got.
That's all you got? Well, find him at Clover Tech.
Yeah.
He has do you have a YouTube channel now?
Do I? I don't know.
You should
I can't
mention
remember. Yeah,
You should really get one of them doodads.
I think I started one at some point. I think I did. I don't know.
Now, Clover's got an awesome fucking YouTube channel. They're being all silly right now. Go check it out.
There's gun channels have it tough, man. That's why I don't do a gun channel, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not so bad. If you know the policy and you understand navigation of the policy, which I spend a lot of time on that, then you're okay.
Just typed in the chat to see if Ava the G wants an outro, since for whatever reason the very pathetic attention whore felt like that she needed to come in and get attention. So would you like an outro, Ava, and just tell everybody where they can find you so they can avoid that section of the internet?
Yeah, she's off chasing cars on the highway, Greg.
I think she's just recording the show to try and scan through it to do gotchas or some shit. I don't know. It's just stupid shit. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, debate night tonight, Wednesday night, standard show, episode 126, I think. We're going to have a great time. Not sure if I'm going to have guests. If I'm not going to have guests, we'll see. We'll see what I do. It'll be fun. Thursday night, Keita and Steve and potentially Keita's daughter will be on the show. It's a special edition. I don't normally do Thursday nights. Thursday day will be a political stream. Again, we will probably be talking about whatever awesomeness Doge and Trump have turned up. And we'll be probably talking about us invading Iran, or not invading it, or bombing Iran or something like that more. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting week. If you haven't, please like the show. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I'm not going to raid anybody today. I normally would, but to be honest with you, I've been so distracted talking about guns and other cool stuff that I just haven't. As always, you're free to grift as much as you would like. I will not turn down your money. However, if you can't afford to send me money, if it's against your religion, if it bothers you, then don't send me money.
Sending Grid money is halal. Do it.
It is halal. It is. Otherwise, guys, go out, have fun in the afternoon. Don't violate HR, Charles Darwin. You guys have a great rest of your day. Be cool. Wear glasses if you need them. And get off my lawn.